Good evening. Welcome in to News Leader 9 at 6 on this Friday night. I'm Barbara Goche.
And I'm Jason Dennis. Thanks for joining us. Topping our news, multiple shootings across Columbus early this afternoon. One where police say the 14-year-old victim was dropped off at a nearby fire station on Brown Avenue. That victim, now identified as Jaden Tate, was shot between Henry Avenue and Bell Street. News Leader 9's Catrice Nolan joins us live from that scene where investigators are combing a block of Henry Avenue for evidence. So Catrice, tell us the very latest on this teen shot and killed.
Jason, we've been here for about an hour and investigators are still here on Henry Avenue combing the scene behind me for evidence. And I'm going to step out of the way so that you can see them. Again, markers are on the ground right now of shell casings, and that's how police officers and investigators count how many shots were actually fired. This neighborhood, some of the neighbors tell me it's pretty quiet, but the house in particular, they tell me, is always crowded with a lot of people. But one neighbor who lives on the street down on Gould Street, she tells me that is not what happened to 14-year-old Jaden Tate. Take a listen to what she had to say.
He was coming down the street with his book bag and stuff from school, I guess, and somebody put up on him and shot him, and he was running and he collapsed in the yard.
And very heartbreaking to hear that that young man collapsed. And Tiffany also went on to tell me that someone who was driving down the street saw him in the middle of the road, and they decided to pick him up and drop him off at the fire station, which is just one block over. And that's when paramedics were able to get him to Piedmont Regional, where he later died from his injuries and later died from that gunshot wound to the chest. And back here live now, again, investigators are out here. And something uncommon that we don't typically see, District Attorney Stacey Jackson was out here earlier on the scene. I cannot say exactly what he may have been trying to find out, but we do know that, of course, district attorneys do have to gather evidence just as much as investigators do. So we, of course, will stay out here to see if we can gather more information for you. Reporting in Columbus, Catrice Nolan, WTVM News Leader 9.
Yeah, so sad, especially when you hear about people so young involved in this gun violence. All right, thank you, Catrice. And for updates on these stories,